Hello, everybody. This is Chris, and this is my channel, Barnum 11970. And as always, I thank you for taking the time to listen to what I have to say. And I want to talk about the crowds. And you could see in this image, and I'm going to show a video I saw. And this person only has 1,000 subscribers. And I mean, me with 25,000, I know what it's like to get a short amount of views. So I want to help this person. I don't know who they are. So I posted the link. And I want you to subscribe to him and check it out. But fair use, I can only show a part of it. But I'm just going to show some clips because I've been watching these almost every day with Donald Trump and a little bit of Hillary. I can't even really stomach her that. I mean, that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree. But the one thing I notice is the mainstream media is trying so hard to hide the crowds. And what the cameras are basically doing is zooming in on whoever's speaking, either it's Donald Trump or Hillary. Now, that serves two purposes. One, it shows how it prevents you from seeing how many people are at the Trump rallies and how few people are at Hillary's. So I'm going to show some clips, and I want you guys and girls out there to spread this information, and I will do a screen share. And like I said, the video that I'm showing, fair use, I can only show a little bit of it. But if you can, subscribe to that channel. I don't know who they are. I just happened to see it. They only have about 11 to 1,200 subscribers. So if you subscribe to it, maybe it helps get the information out. So there's two purposes here. So let me show you. I'm going to do the screen share so you can see the difference. And we really need to start going on these mainstream media like Twitter sites and Facebook sites and all their places that you could contact them and tell them we've had enough of the lies. It's just, it's almost to the point where it's comical at this point. So let's do the screen share. Let me make sure this is on. Okay, so, and like I said, in the description, there will be the link if you want to see the entire video. But this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is one of Hillary Clinton's rallies. Now, you could see this is probably some gym or some gymnasium in a school. So they have this section blocked off. They have this section blocked off. And look at how many people. There's one camera, and as you could see the angle, it focuses right where the speaker is going to be. So they'll zoom in, so you'll only see the heads of these people, so it looks very, very big. So that is the first one. Let's get to the next, and they'll show the differences. See if I could skip along. Okay, here's another one. Now look at this one really quick. The person who took this picture, they decided to do a lower angle because if they did it straight up, you would be able to see past this first row and see that it's empty. And again, you could see by the basketball hoops, this is a gym. So there's a small amount of people. They're all just sitting there, and they did a low angle. So this way, you can't see how few people are there. Now, there could be thousands for all we know, but if that was the case, they would show it. So that's one of the things mainstream media loves to do is make you think you're seeing something other than what really is by doing trick photography and things like that. So that's the next one. So you can see the difference. Here's another Hillary Clinton rally. Look at the empty seats. I guess like at the DNC, they paid over 700 people $50 that were actors and not part of the actual convention to sit there and pretend to be Hillary supporters. And again, look at this. This is another school gym. So they are, what is there, maybe 75 people, maybe 100? I mean, the people could say, oh, it isn't completely filled yet. But look, they already have it blocked off. There's what, 13 rows of seats? So they're telling you, how many maximum people there are going to be. So let's find the next one. Now, here's Donald Trump. You wonder why when you watch these live footages that they show of his, and he does 2 to 3 a day, almost every day, and you can see Donald Trump right there. So this is not just a random picture. You can see the Trump insignia here. That's a stadium. It's completely full. That's not, you will never see that in mainstream media. Here's another one. Again, so not only is the almost the entire arena filled, you could see there's some empty seats here, but there are people filling in the center court. So let me see if there's any more on here. Okay, here's another one. I mean, look at the amount of people. This entire floor is packed. Now, the Hillary one was probably about this many people. That's 10 to 20 times more at numerous amounts of his rallies. Here's another one. And again, you can see the Trump insignia right there. It's a stadium. So while Hillary Clinton is barely filling a quarter of a school like gymnasium, Donald Trump is filling stadiums. So there's Donald Trump. That's the back view. So you'll have the cameras and they'll just zoom in right to his face, and they'll never show this, because if the people actually saw the differences between how many people are going to see Hillary and how many people are going to see Trump, well, then they really couldn't, lie as much as they could. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, lying is not just saying a lie. Lying is also not telling the truth. So, I mean, I've said so many times that this election is rigged. I've been saying that for years. The media is corrupt. I've been saying that for years. It's finally getting out there. But we have to get to the point where we make a stand. So if you know where the Fox media, well, Fox hasn't been doing it as much, but you know what? I'm still not going to give a pass to any mainstream media. CNN, MSNBC, all these different outlets. Go on their Twitter accounts. Go on their Facebook accounts. Share this video. Post this video on their sites. Go to the Hillary Clinton Facebook page and Twitter page. Post this video or the other person's video. I don't care as long as the message gets out. To me, that's what's most important. So this shows the media is so corrupt. And we have actually a couple of people that asked some questions, so I want to make sure I answer those. And that's nice. I actually didn't even mention that because most of the time people don't ask. But if you want to ask a question, the way I do it is I don't do the live screening because they go so fast. By the time somebody leaves a question, it's already scrolled up and I'm going to miss them, and there's going to be an opportunity for spam. I don't want that. I want more control over my program. So you have to be on my Google Plus page and follow me to be able to do it. So if you don't have Google Plus, just sign up for it. You don't have to put any information. It doesn't cost you anything like that. It's not something that I say you have to do. It's YouTube and Google, so that's on them. But what you do is, if you go to my Google Plus page and you see this video live, all you have to do, and this is for the future of any video, just click on the live feed that you see on the Google Plus page. And when you open it up, you'll see the ability to ask a question. And if you see if you see a question that you think is you want it answered right away, you can thumb it up. So we got the first question. It has 2 thumbs up. So I want to make sure I acknowledge that and thank everybody for watching, because this stuff, I mean, just by you see the picture and you showed that in part of the video, that's Hillary's crowd right there. That is a gym. And I remember when I was a kid, when they used to put these partitions to separate it. Look at that. Maybe that's 100 people at best. And how many of them are security, Secret Service agents, friends, people that work for her? And look here. There's Donald Trump, right, in that little tiny image. And look at how packed it is. And the mainstream media is not showing us. And shame on the mainstream media for doing this. But shame on us for not calling them out. We need to start doing this, ladies and gentlemen. But the question, we got STD Poser. He says, the game is rigged. That's what Carlin said. What do you think? Oh, absolutely. Before any of this, I mean, if you've been following my channel for years, and if you haven't, hit subscribe. I've been telling people how the system is corrupt, how the media is corrupt. It's all propaganda. And it's funny, when I first started talking about this stuff years ago, I was laughed at. I was ignored. I was made fun of. And now the people that used to make fun of me don't do it anymore, because you can't hide this stuff anymore. The proof is in the pudding, because remember what they say, ladies and gentlemen, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So the media, and I'll show you one other thing. Let me just do the screen share really quick before I get to the next question, because I want you to see this, how corrupt mainstream media is. Let me scroll back a little bit, see if I could find it. Just give me a second. Okay. This right here is a picture from a Hillary Clinton rally. And this was NBC, Abby D. Phillip. They took this picture. Now, it looks like there's a lot of people, right? Of course, they do the old zoom in. So it says, big, boisterous crowd here in Omaha for Hillary Clinton and Warren Buffett. So when you see this image in the newspaper, that looks like there's a lot of people. Now, somebody that was there, it's actually, oh, I'm sorry, it's CNN, because it says at CNN Politics. So they went on their Twitter site and posted the real picture and said, are you reporting on the 50 people who showed up to Hillary's rally in Omaha today? So here you go. It's the same images. You can see the arrow and the H. There's the arrow and the H. You see the American flag with the together there. See the American flag with the together there. And notice there's no yellow fringe around the flags. Ladies and gentlemen, the yellow flags around a flag, that's military flags. That's why you only see them in courthouses and like places like where the president is. So the yellow fringe actually means it's a military flag. That's why I've told people we've been in martial law since the days of Abraham Lincoln. You should really learn this stuff. But see, this is what the mainstream media does. They focus in on a picture. They make you think, oh, it's crowded. So when you're reading the newspaper or seeing this little image on one of the news medias, they're going to say, oh, it was great, because look what they said, big, boisterous crowd. So people reading that weren't there, were just going to take their word for it and say, I guess that must be true because they're reporting it. Well, here is the real image. So they lie, ladies and gentlemen. Here's proof. And whoever this person is, TPP is treason, which I totally agree. Look at the difference. Again, pictures worth 1,000 words. Are we tired of being lied to? I sure hope so. And until most people, or at least the majority of people, start standing up and start saying things, nothing is going to get changed. So whether it's my video or somebody else's, go on MSNBC, go on Fox, go on CNN, go on all of these and post these kind of things. Tell them we're sick and tired of the lies and we're not going to take it anymore. You know that whole I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore? So yeah, the system's rigged, but yet everybody wants to keep playing. So I tell people, your votes don't count. You have to understand how it goes. If you are a citizen of the United States and you don't know what the legal definition of the word citizen is, you don't understand that when you check that box, when you get your driver's license or any government form of ID, and when you go register to vote, what's the first thing they ask is, are you a U.S. citizen? Ignorance of the law is no excuse. So if you don't know that the legal definition of the word citizen basically boils down to you being part of a corporation called the quote-unquote United States, which is a registered trademark name, you are now under the jurisdiction of Washington, D.C. That's where the United States Corporation is located. Washington, D.C. is a foreign country owned by the Bank of London. Washington, D.C. has 2 delegates. So if every single American, there's about approximately 350 million Americans. Let's say 200 million are registered voters. They all go to register to vote. They check the, are you a U.S. citizen? They check yes. Now, with the 13th Amendment, the legal definition of slavery is involuntary servitude, which means they can't make you go there by gunpoint. But if you check that box willingly, then the 13th Amendment no longer protects you because people don't understand the law, and it's not their fault because law is based on presumption. So if 200 million Americans who signed that box and checked yes where it says, are you a U.S. citizen, because they don't understand what they're signing, ignorance of the law is no excuse. If all 200 million voted for Donald Trump, that is 2 delegate votes. People seem to think if 200 million people vote, that means there's 200 million tabulated. No, it goes by the area where the people are. And the way they trick you is you think because you live in New York or you live in California or you live in Texas, it's different locations. If you check the box that you are a U.S. citizen, which you have to do to vote, so you have no choice, but then again, you don't have to do it. They don't put a gun to your head, so the 13th Amendment does not protect you here. When you sign yes, you are now under the jurisdiction of Washington, D.C., which is a corporation that is called the United States. The corporation is nothing more than a registered name. If you ever had a business and you incorporated it, all you're doing is incorporating the name. That is the lie. that is the scam. That is why votes don't matter. So all the people that say, oh, you're not going to vote, you're not helping, those people are not helping because they're not learning what's going on. And until people learn this, we're up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. So we have a couple of more questions. We have Reverend Galileo. Always a pleasure, Reverend. Appreciate this. And she says, LMAO, which I'm sure you all know what that means, writes, traditional politicians are just not very popular these days. Trump soon will be one. If he's not, he'll be assassinated, most likely. But here's, like I said, I made a video almost a year ago saying Hillary Clinton will be president. Not because I wanted to, but because the system is rigged, and we've already seen this with how many times WikiLeaks have to put out different emails, which, by the way, the media doesn't do anything, our government doesn't do anything. So even our president, you know, he's still President Obama, believe it or not. What is he doing at all? So he's basically saying, oh, it's okay, you could be a criminal. You could do things that are not supposed to be done. You could do things that other people would be thrown in jail for. And not only will you not be thrown in jail, but you can get a reward by being president. And she's getting millions and millions and millions of contributions, quote unquote, to her charity, quote unquote, and to her cause. You don't think if some country or some very wealthy person gives her a couple of $1 million that it's not for a purpose of getting an agenda completed that she's going to do? She's not there for the people. No politician is there for the people. Donald Trump's a little different, but, you know, like I've always said, in a corrupt system, you could not by yourself beat the system. You have to stop the system. You have to change the system. We are responsible for that, not Donald Trump. I like him only for the fact that he doesn't BS the people as far as the mainstream media is concerned, that he's not just reading off a teleprompter, even though if you watch his over and over again, he pretty much says the same thing at every rally. He's different, and that's why people gravitate towards him, but he's not going to be president. I hate to disappoint people. And it's not because I don't want him to, because in a perfect world, you know, he would be the best choice, even though he does say he believes in waterboarding, which is torture. He does talk about a wall, which we have planes that can fly over. And unless you put the wall completely around the country, there's going to be other places people can come in. But all that does is, yes, it'll stop the regular generic drug dealers from shipping drugs from Mexico into the United States. But it won't stop the government operative ones, the very powerful, wealthy ones. All it does is eliminate their competition so they have more of the drug trade. If you think a wall is going to stop people, you know, you're just fooling yourself. All right, so next one. STD Poser says, selection or election? It's a selection. I mean, if you look at the history of politicians, they're either Democrat or Republican. They're very wealthy, and they are all related to each other in one way, shape, or form. Now, some of them are like 10th cousin, but still, that's a coincidence, isn't it? Or is it because you have to be part of a club to be able to join? There's never been a homeless person that went from being dirt poor to all of a sudden becoming president. I mean, even Donald Trump says all the time, in his own money, he spent about $60 million. Hillary Clinton spent about $45 million just in ads alone. You think the average person like you and I can afford to do that? So there's a reason why only a certain amount of people get elected. So yes, they talk about, you know, there's third parties, but do you see any third party members having any rallies right now? Any news coverage about those? So where's the freedom? You know, we have more people that we could pick for Miss America than we do for president. So it's a scam, but people want to pretend, oh, you know, I go down and I click my answer, I'm really contributing. That's why they let you do it, because it makes you think you're doing something, even though you're not. But we got 777 says, sooner or later, the people will have to come to the realization we have to fix things. We can no longer expect the government to fix itself. Well, in a world full of rational people, I would say you are absolutely correct. But you could see, like a video like this, maybe you'll get a couple of 100 views, maybe might even hit 1,000. I'd be shocked if it got over 5,000. I'd be utterly shocked. Out of millions of people in this country, it shows the average person wants to watch music videos. They want to talk about what's going on in Hollywood. They care more about Alex Rodriguez's retirement and all the things that your local sports teams are doing than to care about even things that are point blank, in your face manipulation and lies from the politicians that are supposed to be representing us and the media who is supposed to be giving unbiased investigative reporting, and they're being nothing but dishonest. And I've said this for a while, and I've gotten laughed at, but you know what? Like they say, he who laughs last laughs best. So the people, unfortunately, the only time people throughout history come to a realization is when it smacks them in the face and they have no choice. Most riots or most revolutions happen because something they didn't do anything about came to a point where they had no choice. That's what the average person throughout history does. There's not enough smart people that care enough about this stuff to make an impact, which is sad, and it's definitely discouraging, but who knows? If people actually wake up and start caring about stuff like this, if people help me share this or share the other person's video, because like I said, the information I was showing was on another channel's video, and they only have about 1,000 subscribers, so I posted the link. So if you want to subscribe to them and show them the support, please do. I have no idea who they are, but I don't have a problem with helping other people. Eddie B83, and again, thank you for taking the time to comment. Let's bring back the anti-Masonic Party. Well, even if they had it, mainstream media will never cover it. And as you could see, look how many people are in the Hillary's rally. Look how many people are in Trump's rally. And yet the media is 99% all about Hillary. She could do no wrong. So it doesn't matter the parties. Again, it's a corrupt system. You can go to a casino and you know the dealer is corrupt and is lying and is tricking. You could bring all your friends to try and, do their magic tricks, but in the end, the casino always wins. So, unfortunately, it doesn't matter who you bring back in a corrupt system. And this is the point I'm trying to make. If nobody showed up to vote, they can't manipulate. If everybody was tired of what the banks are doing, you take your money out of the bank accounts, well, they can't do it anymore. Until people learn that, nothing's going to change. Eddie B83 also says, and this is, he puts it in quotes, sarcasm, says, he's saying this in sarcastic tones, but I love my government. If they don't protect me, then who will? Be right back. I'm playing Pokemon Go. Don't get me started on Pokemon Go. You want to see the zombie apocalypse, watch people as they play Pokemon Go. That company, in like 4 days, made like a couple of $1 billion feeding off the ignorance of the people. And that's what people care about. They care more about invisible cartoon characters you could find on your cell phone than they do about their own monetary system, their own political system, their own educational system. It's quite sad. It's almost to the point where it's like it would be tragic if it wasn't so laughable, or laughable if it wasn't so tragic. I don't know which one. And Sunbeam Sting, and by the way, thank you for that video. He wrote in, this has nothing to do with this, but I'll talk about it for a second. Devil's Tower is a tree stump. This is explained in a video called There Are No Forests on Flat Earth. This blew my mind. All the old forests are gone, all of them. I will post the link, again, like I did in your last video. Please watch it. Really quick on that, because this is totally a different subject. There's a video. It's called There Are No Forests on Flat Earth. The title is very misleading. It's about an hour and a half long video, and when you watch it, it will make you think. Now, they're suggesting that places like Devil's Tower is nothing more than a giant tree stump. Now, as crazy as that sounds, if you watch the video, and Sunbeam Sting will post the link, or you could just Google the title, it's called There Are No Forests on Flat Earth, it will make you question things, and it makes a lot of sense. Whether it's true or not, obviously, unless you do your own investigative reporting and do your own research, it's hard to say. But I will say, when I watched that video, and thank you, Sunbeam Sting, for sending me that link, it made me think. And it definitely made movies like Avatar, made me look at it in a whole different light. And we'll leave it at that. So I'm not going to go any further at this point. I don't want to make the video too long. Please share this. Please give it a thumbs up if you appreciate these kind of things, whether you're watching it live or you're watching it weeks from now. Post this video or pictures of your own or the other person's video or anybody's video. I don't care. Go on social networks and say, we are tired of your BS. We're tired of your lies. We are watching. The more people that do that and send that message, the less likely they are going to keep trying to lie to the 99% who would rather play Pokemon Go than care about what's going on. When a corrupt system is allowed to thrive, eventually greed sets in to the point where they can take no more, and then everybody that's playing Pokemon Go will wake up one day and see their finances and their freedom go. And then they won't be able to do anything about it, and they can't prepare for it once it's already there. And that's why my critics, when I talk about gold and silver, and I've been talking about it for years now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Better to be 5 years too early than 5 seconds too late. That's not paranoia, it's preparation. Nobody buys car insurance at the moment they have an accident. You know why? Because no insurance company is going to sell it to you. So it's irrelevant if you spent 20 years of your life driving and never got any insurance and said, oh, I avoided 20 years of paying. Well, you get into that one accident, all those 20 years worth of savings will hit you in the face right then and there. Be smart. Don't use fear and don't use greed. Do it for preparation. So one last question we have. Sunbeam Sting says, great live show, Chris. Thank you. I will post the video on my Facebook channel again. Yeah, I appreciate that. Anybody that takes my videos and posts them, it helps get the information out. A lot more people are doing that. Thank you so much, because, you know, I may not be some millionaire that could make all fancy videos. And, you know, I'm not talking about Pokemon Go or doing video games or doing something that's going to be more entertaining and more distracting. I'm just a regular person that got so tired of the corruption, so tired of the lies. I wanted to do my small little part to help change the world. And if more people started doing that, just imagine what we could do. So if you don't want to share my video, make your own. But we got to get this out there. The time to be silent has to end. Otherwise, it's our fault. We built this Frankenstein's monster, and it's time we put it down and take responsibility for what we choose to do and choose not to do. So leave your comments once this uploads. Go check out that other person's channel. Go subscribe to him. Show him the support. Tell him that Barn on 11970 sent you. I'm sure they'd appreciate it. Waking up, seeing a couple of extra subscribers to that person's channel. And if you see any kind of truth that you want me to talk about and you want me to make a video about, please do. And one last thing, Eddie B83 says, I'll post this on Live Leak later when it's uploaded. Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate the support and the effort. And it just shows there's 2 people right there that are already going to share it. Look how many other people this is going to impact that I couldn't have gotten in touch with. So it shows you don't need millions of people to make a change. You just need a few that are no longer going to be afraid and want to help spread truth. So thank you for that. Thank you, everybody, for watching, whether you're watching it live or you're seeing it days later. Love you all, and stop being lied to. Stop allowing it. We can't enable them anymore. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.